Hey, I'm Rita.
And I'm Lee.
And welcome to the Me For Her podcast.
We are two gay girls living polar opposite lives on different sides of the country, here to talk shit and share with you our experiences between 20 and 30.
Hello and welcome back to episode 34 of the Me For Her pod. It's a lockdown edition. Melbs is back into lockdown and I visited Lee last week. So happy I finally got over before they fucking shut the borders again. Lee, baby girl, how you doing?
Better than you, I think, babe. Better than you. Although, just, you know, you and I did have a conversation about it the other day. And I do think that everyone in Australia is really starting to feel for Vic. Like, I think that it's time that as a nation we start to stand up and come together as one nation, which is what we are. And I think that even from WA, I'm very heavy-hearted for businesses and families and even just single people that are heavily affected by this lockdown.
I know. You almost cried.
I was very emotional. I was very emotional. It's sort of like the fires all over again. People think we're just sitting pretty over in WA, and I'm in no way comparing our situation. But at the same time, it's hard when, you know, part of your country is people are considering ending their life or going bankrupt. And it's really sad and really scary for me as a mum to think about other mums and dads and other parents having those thoughts. And it's fucked. It's fucked.
Yep.
There's no other word for it.
Well, we both know that I haven't got a lot to complain about. I don't have kids. Prior lockdowns, I lived by myself. I couldn't complain about too much. I was pretty tolerant. I mean, this podcast was created because of a lockdown, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, thank you for that first one, Dan Andrews. But I think last week when it got announced, I think especially because I just got to Perth and I just come back and how much the situation changed within a week in Victoria. Like, I got off the plane and was gloating to you guys about how Melbourne had beaten it and like we're living large because we had less restrictions than you. And then lol jokes is on me. Next minute, I fucking come back on Wednesday and we're back into a lockdown on Friday. Like, I think that's just what hit me. And you actually said to me, you're like, you guys have some cases, you're going to go back into a lockdown. And I was in flat denial. I was like, nah, that's not going to happen. I'll get to Noosa on Sunday. No stress, you know?
I think it's because of, like, our mate, Marky Mark. Literally, we were going to a lockdown for someone to, you know, he might
sneeze. Someone sneezes and he's like, that's it, borders closed.
He thinks someone might have a cold and he'll shut our borders. So, and he'll put us into lockdown. So that's why I knew you guys were going to, because I'm just so used to that happening to us. Like, we went into lockdown for one case. So as soon as you guys had a case, I was like, surely. Isn't that what happens?
Well, you were right. And literally as I was in the air coming back to Victoria on Wednesday, rookie error, by the way, Katie asked me to extend my trip and I was like, oh, no, I've got some stuff to do, soz, idiot. So I was super grateful, like overwhelmed with gratitude that I got my trip in because old mate Big Bird, she was like, oh, I'll come on the weekend, and obviously didn't make it because they changed the restrictions. So I would have actually cried if I knew that there was a window of opportunity to come over and I missed it. So I'm so grateful that I had the freedom and the money in my bank or 1,000 Jetstar credit vouchers to just like be like, fuck this shit, I'm coming, and, you know, changing my plans to suit. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I think we both would have been very upset and annoyed if you had not made that trip. And, you know, in all seriousness, my heart really does go out to everyone in Victoria at the moment and everyone in Sydney and anyone affected. Like, it's just a really scary time. It's a very uncertain time. And we're thinking of you all. And I wish that there was more we could do, to be honest. But
all the Melburnians that I've spoken to are literally just fed up. We're done now. Like, lockdown number 5, it just broke me, honestly. Like, the thought of not being able to travel or have anything to look forward to or your plans getting cancelled, like, it's just devastating. And I'm at the point now where I'm just like, we need to live with this. This is going to be a part of Australia. Everyone's dealt with the fact that we can't travel overseas, but to not be able to travel within your own state, like, I had birthday plans this weekend, as you know, obviously not going there. Fair enough, I'm not going to Noosa, fair enough. But to not be able to travel in my own state, it's just fucking devastating. Having said that, today I woke up with a fresh pair of eyes, excited to tackle lockdown, stop whinging,
No, but it's
and
all
I think
relative. It's all relative. Like, you're allowed to whinge, and at the same time,
I am.
people could say, "Oh, but you're alive. You've got this. You've got that." But it's all relative. It's affecting everyone's mental health differently, and it is
Right.
all relative. And that's the thing. Is people are starting to suffer mentally big time. And lockdown number 5, it's only going to get worse and worse. And I hate when people say, "Oh, we've survived it once, we'll survive it," but every lockdown's worse.
And it's different. Every lockdown is different, circumstantial.
And I absolutely agree. We do just need to live with this, and I think that that's our only way forward. And I think that we just need to. If the numbers were adding up, different story, but they're not. They're not.
You know what I hate? The fact that the premiers are acting all fucking fifth graders and ganging up on each other. And it's like, if that's the leadership of this country right now, like, what the fuck do you expect? Why do you think New South Wales are against Queenslanders and Victoria's are against, the world? It's just really a poor example, in my opinion. It's just shoddy.
It is. Anyway, we don't need to go any further into that, because
let's not digress.
We could talk about it for a long time. But anyway, let's just update our people just quickly on your Perth visit.
Perth? Oh my God. Got off the plane on Saturday morning, was just wrapped, spent some time with KJ and Toko, and then made my way down to you, and just honestly, it just was wholesome, because people asked me, they were like, "How's your Perth trip? What did you do?" And I was like, played with a train set for most of the time with but that was great. Like, I think Oak is 3 now, and it was just so cool for us to become hangout buddies and really spend some good time together, and also see you and Tay, but mainly you, just in your element as a mum, and for me to take a mental snapshot and be like, fuck, I actually can't imagine you without kids. You're just forever a mum now. Do you know what I mean? You're so in your element. So that was the highlight for me. And our Pilates class, ops.
Oak, obviously, Oak still asks where you are and why you have to
stop it.
Why you had to go back on a plane and see your own mum, because that's what I said.
Oh my God.
And he was like, "Why?"
That's so cute.
And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't have an answer for you, to be honest."
I thought Sean coming back would have softened the blow a bit, and he would have forgotten about me.
It did.
I guess I'm just unforgettable, hey?
You are. And also,
what was your high of me coming to visit?
Well, it was just really great to have you here, and it's awesome when you have a friend come visit and you don't feel you have to constantly apologise for the way you have to live now. Obviously, you've seen life as a mum of 2. You've got friends with kids. You sort of got it, but I think you were staying with us, and I think it's great to have a friend that just accepts that this is what your life is and makes it easier and not harder. And I think that if you weren't the person that you were, I could have been really stressed the whole time, worrying about the fact that, I wasn't doing this with you, I wasn't doing that with you. And, you and I went to Pilates, we went out for dinner with some friends. We did some things just you and I, and that's pretty much my life now. And it was great that you were just so understanding of that. And not many people would put up with how much Oak wants to sit and just play train. So I was super grateful for that, and obviously the time that you and I got together. But has it made you be like, yeah, okay, definitely want more than one kid, or have you gone one and done after spending the weekend?
No, I left thinking fuck, it's hectic. I sort of forgot. It's been a while since I looked after 2 bubs. So I was reminded of how much you have your hands full, especially with a toddler who constantly, is wanting to play and learn and ask questions and stuff, which is beautiful. But yeah, definitely reinstated the fact that I definitely want kids, but just really looking forward to starting with one. How funny was it when we came back from Pilates, laughing about how hilarious we were to Tay, and she was just like, "You guys aren't even that funny."
I know, and you know what? She secretly does think we're hilarious. She just likes to keep us humble, I think.
Yeah, no, fair. And I think she realises that at that point in time we weren't feeling very humble at all, because she was like, "Do you guys think you're famous?"
Not at all.
And we were like, who do you think we are? Do you want an autograph? What? I'm sorry.
I know. She's lucky that, I don't know.
She's your wife?
Yeah. I was going to say she's lucky she's been my day one. Otherwise, with all this newfound fame, I'd be out of there.
You really would. You really would. Let's go to our new segment, the highs and lows of the day.
Okay.
TM.
I'll go first because I'm just going to go first. And look, let's remember that we're trying to keep things a little bit lighthearted as well at the same time as understanding that there's a lot of shit going on in this world, but we just don't need. So my low, I'm going to preface with that I understand it's not really that, it's not a big deal at all, but we're talking about highs and lows of the day.
Yes.
Just today. So my high is that I'm back in the gym, obviously, and today, like, I just had a real appreciation for the fact that I could be back in the gym and I could exercise and I get that hour to myself after what has felt like a really long time not exercising. And you know me, I've exercised since I was born, basically. So to have had the last year off due to my hernia in my pregnancy, I wasn't able to. So I had a real appreciation for that today, and the fact that, you know, my body is, you know, birthed 2 children and grown 2 children and it's still, you know, kicking on.
Like, hell yeah.
You know, and so I had a real appreciation for that, and I just feel very grateful for the fact that I'm back doing some sort of exercise. And, you know, I'm starting from the bottom, but just, yeah, really grateful for that and the fact that I'm able to do that. But my low was that,
here we go.
And I'm sorry, but I'm sure there's so many people that can relate to this. When you order something, I ordered new Under Armour runners, right? Because I'm fucking inspired.
Because you're a fit mum.
I'm a fit mum. So I ordered myself new Under Armour runners as like a go you. You've started going to the gym more, and what's more inspiring than new runners? So I ordered them, and there's nothing worse than you're tracking, saying it's coming on today and it not coming today.
Oh, that's fucking devastating.
And then a delivery. So I lost all hope. So then it got to like 4:00 and the delivery van pulled up, and I I had Ollie and I was like, take her. These are my runners. I'm going for a walk. Like, I'm trying to get my, and anyway, it wasn't. It was something for her. Probably for her car. I didn't even open it once it didn't have my name on the box. And the delivery man must have been so offended because I was just so disappointed with the box that he gave me. And I just but honestly, isn't it the worst when it says estimated delivery? And I know it's just an estimate, but Monday, the 19th, and then it doesn't come. I was really upset. Yeah. So that was my high and my low.
Would it have been your high if they arrived? Just out of curiosity.
Absolutely. I think you'll really love them. I'll send you a photo when I get them. They're pretty cool shoes, but it would have been my high. I feel like
Under Armour's quite like trendy, you know, like go you.
I have been wearing Under Armour runners since Tay and I have been together.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
Wow, bad friend for me not noticing. Must be the 3,000 miles we are apart from each other.
And also the fact that I haven't run for a really long time.
Well, and then there's that chestnut. Fair shout. Good for you, babe. Good for you. I'm super proud of you for getting back into the gym. And might I add that your gym is bloody dope. The fact that there's a creche and like a physio and a cafe that I worked out of and squash. I want to get into squash now. I'm really pissed that we didn't get to play.
So fun. Squash is so fun.
So tell me,
your high and your low.
Okay, let's start with the low. The low is the fact that lockdown was extended here in Victoria today, which I mean, we all cottoned on to and we were all sort of prepared for, so that wasn't like a shock horror to the system. However, I think a lot of us expected to know how long the lockdown would be extended by, and we weren't told. So it's just this big Pandora's box of how long are we going to be caged animals for, essentially. So that was a bit of a low, but, you know, could be worse. I guess we'll find out tomorrow how long it's going to be.
Are they telling you tomorrow how long it's going to be?
Apparently, yes. Apparently, they have to for the businesses and stuff, right? Like, it's impossible for them to not know. Maybe they're figuring out funding and stuff because of how much attention there's been on the fact that small businesses or sole traders are struggling.
Absolutely. I hope so. I hope that's what they're doing. I hope Dan Andrews is sitting there and transferring funds to every sole trader there is in Victoria at the moment from his own personal bank account.
Well, someone's got to do it, right? So, but yes, and I have a cheeky little high as well.
Cheeky little high. Let's hear it.
I think you know what it is because I haven't been talking to you about it all afternoon. I went on a little cheeky lockdown coffee walk date.
I love that for you. And I love that you're able to do that.
Oh my God, I know. Well, I mean, you have to be creative in lockdown, right? But
Mhm.
yes, and I am quietly very, very happy. It went really, really well, and it's the best first date I've been on in a long time. You know, not going to put all my eggs in one basket and like beef it up to something, but I really enjoyed it.
You did. And I can tell
Yes,
just by looking at you right now how much you enjoyed it. It's almost like you're getting shy talking about it. And I am so
stop it.
stoked. And look, when I hear about you talking about this situation, and I think a lot of our followers can agree, well, I feel
Mm.
like we're all really invested. And I feel
You
like
are.
as your best friend, sorry, I was just trying to enter the room. As your best friend, I'm almost like, I am so ready for you to meet that person because I know you are. And I just feel so emotionally connected to this situation. And so I almost feel like I am just so ready for you to settle down as much as you are, if that makes sense.
All
So
right.
when I hear about
Just be
how happy
careful. Just be
you,
careful. She is a listener.
yeah, and look, and I'm not saying, I mean, like, did you ask how she feels about a Perth wedding? Or
Stop it. Stop it. Well, I guess the one thing that we do have in common is her best friend is someone that you know quite well. So small world.
I know quite well. I know quite
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Perrin.
Oh, good old Pez. Pez, mate. Yeah.
Pezza.
Well,
Yes.
why
So,
doesn't that surprise me? Small
well, I just
world.
feel like it's so funny because there's always some sort of a connection back to you. It's hilarious. Like remember with old mate Morgan.
Mm,
It's like
yeah.
there's always a connection to you. You're on the other side of the country. But anyways, my main point out of this is that you know how I was talking to you, and actually so many people contacted me to say that they related to our episode where I was a bit deppy about being the 11th wheel and about like not being sure whether or not to like um, change my expectations of a date, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I too was like considering like, oh, am I just being like too high maintenance and expecting there to be something that isn't there until it can
Be there.
develop over time, you know? And I've confirmed to myself today that no, you like this is the feeling. Like I just feel excited. I felt like I kept smiling after the date. Like I just felt really excited to get to know him more. And that probably wasn't there for anyone that I've dated in the last year. So that's a feeling that I've now proved to myself is what I should aim for and not settle for anything less. Irrespective of if it works with this girl or not.
Yeah.
I hope it does because she seems pretty awesome. But time will tell, my friend.
Well, let's just to be continued. And I am very excited, but I do think the next time you speak, you should just mention Perth and see like how she feels about it. You don't know. She might have an auntie that lives here. Who knows? Who can knows?
How soon is too soon to like get you on a FaceTime to meet her?
For me, never. I mean, I'll jump on as soon as you like me to. But
I did warn her that I was quite cheesy.
you have to come with a disclaimer because it's beyond
You're
a
not
joke.
wrong.
It is beyond a joke.
Okay, don't scare her off. Don't scare her off. She's listened to a couple of episodes, but thankfully isn't like number one fan. So hopefully she won't listen to this for like a year.
Wait, wow, bad move, babe, to admit that. You've got to pretend at least that you follow us. All right, well, to be continued. Let's see where this takes us, shall we? And she will remain anonymous, of course.
She will remain anonymous, absolutely. And shout out to Pez. Love your work. She gave me the tick of approval, so I'm in.
Oh,
Hey, I'm in.
good times.
Now, do you want to touch quickly on what we spoke about on our Instagram story in terms of the situation in Victoria with the couple of families who are dealing with the IVF situation?
Yeah, so for anyone who didn't see Reets talking about it on our Instagram, basically to put it simply, is that couples in Victoria have basically had a phone call to say that the embryos that they had created with their egg and their donor sperm have been destroyed, for a want of a better word, due to the fact that the donor has now decided that he no longer wants to participate. and no longer wants to be a donor. And in every other state, am I right? Besides Victoria, you cannot make that decision once the embryo is created.
Correct. Which makes total sense because an embryo is,
living.
your eggs and your sperm combined, and it's a living organism.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right term, but it's life.
I feel, it is. And I absolutely agree that that the donor should be able to decide after, I don't know how long that he doesn't want to. But if the families have invested the money, invested the time, invested the emotion, and it's got to the embryo state, no, I do not think that's fair. And I think it is soul destroying. It is heartbreaking. It is unfathomable for these families. And I just think if the donor has, if the donation has got to embryo phase, that's where time's up. Like, I'm sorry, because that family doesn't get their money back. They don't get their time back. They don't get the emotion back. They don't get
that's
their
the thing.
eggs
The emotional trauma from the whole experience is like the first cost, right? And you can't really put a price on it.
Absolutely.
But you're right. Like, if someone, like one of the families we know, have created those embryos when they were a little bit younger.
Yes, that's another factor.
With the assumption that they were going to be used and they didn't have to remain fertile. Obviously, they're aging, etc. Now their children are potentially going to have a sibling who is not completely genetically linked, which is really important to some families.
Yep.
So that it's just irreplaceable, and it's half of someone else's DNA.
Totally. And I think that is the biggest thing for a lot of families is that if the embryo had been created or the eggs had been retrieved, a few years ago, that's a big deal. And it could be the difference between having another baby or having a baby at all and not. And I just think it's really, really harsh. But I think for some families, it might be okay, that was really hard. I'm still quite young though. I'll still get some healthy eggs, but we can't afford it.
Yes, that is so true. Where is the financial compensation for these families?
Yeah.
I agree with you. And I think that there's a morality point of view with the donor consent. And I know some people might not agree, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it yet. And obviously, if this was my eggs and embryos, I might feel differently. I do believe it is important for the sperm donor to be able to withdraw consent before a specific amount of time.
Absolutely.
But I think the embryo phase is far too late, and that is unfair, and that is unacceptable,
Agreed. And I put myself in that position, and me sitting here now as a 30-year-old with 2 children, if one of them was my embryos, and I've got 2 children and I'm still quite young, and I can't even fathom it. The fact that an embryo of mine, like with my eggs, was destroyed without not even being within my control.
You couldn't say boo. Yeah, it's fucked.
Would be, my heart would break. And I don't know if I mentally and emotionally could go through that again, knowing if I was in Victoria, knowing that it could just happen again.
100%.
I'm in a position where, given my age and other contributing factors, I could try again, but would I? Would I?
Yeah.
That is, it's emotionally taxing, and it's emotionally, you'd be scarred from that. And I just think it's really unfair. And I think Victoria needs to do better when it comes to this, because a lot of families are now without that. And to me, one of your friends also said, I can't imagine, Oak or Ollie not being here. And for us, we didn't have to do IVF, so we weren't in that position. But I can put myself in that position, and having my 2 kids, and it's just wrong. It's really, really fucking wrong.
You can't even fathom it. My friends who mentioned that were the mothers of my 2 godkids, and they said, imagine if the youngest Cassian was not born, and it's just, you can't even fathom that. It's just horrible to think about. So I think the key takeout for this. If that impacts you, and hearing this and what these families are having to go through in Victoria impacts you, you can do something to voice your concern, and that is by signing the change.org petition listed in our bio on our IG account. Every petition signature counts and will go towards hopefully the change of this awful loophole legislation in Victoria. So please sign it.
I just also want to mention, because I do think sperm donors are amazing and what they do is amazing, and I don't want to discourage and I don't want to put them down, because this is not all sperm donors. And
of course,
I think we also need to make, it very evident that we do agree that sperm donors should be able to change their mind at some point, but just not that point. Not when
that far in the process.
No, not when the emotion, the money, the time has all been put into it. That's not it. And I don't want people to think that we don't, think sperm donors are still, and it's not all sperm donors. And I know that there'd be donors that would, be as appalled as us to know this. And I do think, over time things can change for donors and their life and what's going on, and they should be able to change their mind, but again, just not this far in the process. Not at all. It's too far and it's too soul destroying.
Preach, girl. Preach. It's actually put me off wanting to try IVF in Victoria for that reason.
Perth. Hit us up.
Hey, that old chestnut. Yeah, you're right. 100%. Now, given that this is a bit of a lockdown edition, I thought we could maybe just mention a couple of things. Not that you've had a massive lockdown experience, if you know what I mean, but just a couple of things to sort of help anyone in lockdown that are feeling little bit suffocated like I was in my minor meltdown earlier last week.
Well, yes, we haven't had major lockdowns, but we have had lockdowns, and I'm in a house with 2 kids. And it's not like Tay can work from home. She's still able to work during lockdowns, but she can't work from home. So, I'm lucky that my mum lives next door, and she basically just comes and...
I still find it so fucking hilarious that your mum lives next door. It's like everybody loves Raymond, but you love it.
Like, couldn't imagine not having her...
Your mum's a ledge.
...that close. And to be honest, that has been a real saving point for me in lockdowns. But, our last lockdown was during a school term, and it meant that, like, all of Oak's activities were not on. Like his sport class, his gym class, his dancing.
Jazzy Shazzies. Love that class, by the way. And wasn't I in my element?
You were. And I think you don't realise how important those things are for kids, is for their stimulation and stuff, until it's not there. And I actually did notice a change, in that week, because we were inside a lot, and then add the weather. It just doesn't help. So for me, I think staying off my phone, to be honest, as much as I could during lockdown was good, and just trying to make it as easy as I possibly could for my kids, and trying to make up different activities or games, or just trying to keep him somewhat stimulated. And when it wasn't raining, getting out of the house and going for walks and doing what we could, and just staying connected to other people, but not so much through like social media, because I just think it's not great for our nervous system. So for me, it was about like staying connected to other people, and trying to the balance between connecting with other people but not being on my phone so much. And
it's a tricky balance.
Yeah. And I think just trying to, when you've got kids, it's definitely, I think, a different ball game, and you've got to try and keep them well mentally as well as yourself. And that's tricky. And then, have a baby. So yeah, I don't really have
a baby. Is that your tip?
No. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Why not?
Let's have a baby.
So in a way, kids sort of keep lockdown busy, but you've also got to deal with their emotions and their mental state as well as your own, and so that throws a bit of a curveball too. So I think just staying connected to people, but trying to protect your nervous system and your energy at the same time by not just sitting on social media and scrolling, it would be my tip. I don't really have a lot.
That was really intelligent, Lee. Someone I spoke to recently said that you sound wise beyond your ages.
Wow, who was that? Not Taylor.
Age. I don't don't know who it was actually. I have to have a bit of a think. But they were like, "How old is Lee? Oh, she sounds really like wise."
Oh my God, I love that
Does
person.
she? I'll get back to you. I'll have a think about who they are. My tips are probably you sort of stole my thunder, to be honest, because my OG tip for lockdown is going for a walk, listening to a podcast, getting out of the house, especially if you're working from home, just to have a bit of a separation from work and life and no blurred lines. You know what I mean? Exercise if you can. Like I've definitely been in sloth mode in previous lockdowns, and that's okay. I've been in I want to be energized and moving my body mode, and that's okay too. But I think given that this is the 5th lockdown for Victorians and the first major one for everyone based in New South Wales, I think you need to have compassion to yourself. And this is something that I said to my mum recently because she was just feeling a bit shit from not moving that much and not being able to go to gym. And she was like a little bit self-critical. And I sort of just reminded her to just, have some compassion towards yourself and just realize that this is a global pandemic and maybe it's a sign that you need to slow down and just rest and be a sloth and Netflix and chill and eat the chocolate. That's, we both know I live by that motto, but just give yourself a break. If you're feeling like you're energized and you can get up and do stuff, great. But if you're feeling like you feel fucking shit or you've got the kids to look after or you've got, you can't switch off from work, which I've experienced sometimes, like just be kind to yourself and do the best that you can.
I think also that's another reason why I stay off social media because you can jump on social media and seeing and I'm conscious of this because I don't know, I think I just am, but you jump on social media and you see other mums with more kids than you doing, eight loads of washing, doing a garage workout, restructuring the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and you literally are still in your pajamas and having not a great day. And I think that whether you think it affects you or not, it seeps into your psyche without even realizing it, and it's a comparison game. And so for me, if you're one of those people in lockdown for the 500th time in Melbourne, Victoria, and you jump online and you're seeing someone doing the workout, but you're not feeling up for it and you're not, you're having a bit of a down day, that's going to make you feel shit about yourself.
Totally.
Or motivate
Comparison
you. It's either going to
the thief of joy.
It is. And if it motivates you, great. But if you're one of those people that just needs a minute to just going online and seeing people do all these really great things during lockdown isn't going to help. Not going to help. And so that's why I think social media can either be great, but if you're not in the right mindset, I guess to be inspired by those things, then just stay off it.
Totally. I couldn't agree more. And there is a meme going around or something being shared on socials at the moment explaining, especially for Victorians, the fact that first lockdown, second lockdown, even maybe third to a degree, we were still really making plans to connect and going on Zooms and having quizzes and stuff. And this time people just sort of aren't doing it because we're just fucking over it.
Oh, I'm definitely getting that vibe, even from the other side of the country. I've got a few friends in Vic and that I follow on Instagram, and there's definitely a different vibe this time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think, the moral of the story is just meet yourself where you're at. Do not compare to others. If you're feeling good, great, go with it. Try and get out of the house if you can. If you're not feeling great and you want to hibernate, it's winter. Eat carbs, do the thing. Spring's around the corner, and I'm sure you'll feel a lot better. That's a bit of a depresso note, so I thought we could end things on a bit of a fun quiz, babe. I thought I'd just spring this on you. What do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
So I really want to test your baby brain.
Okay? Oh, okay.
Because I know Ollie's a bit of, she's 3 months?
She's nearly 4 months.
Oh shit, mate! That's half the time you took to conceive her, almost a little bit.
Not really, but anyway.
Anyways, just moving right along. We're testing you here, not me.
It did
move along.
Wait, to conceive her or to grow her? You mean
to grow her?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got my words mixed out. I'm in lockdown. All right, give a girl a break. All right. So knowing me, it's obviously going to be a singing challenge.
Oh, okay. You don't know me at all.
All right, here we go, baby. So finish the parts of these songs and there will be a prize if you get them right.
Okay, what's the
Making
prize?
it up as I'm going along.
Okay.
A trip for me to come and visit you in Perth when the borders open.
Okay. Or when you get married to your new date, your date.
Stop it. Stop it. You're going to scare her off. All right, ready? If I was a blank.
Boy.
Who's it by?
Beyonce.
Ding, 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 ding. 1 out of 1. Okay.
I'm going to
ready for the
Shazam.
second one?
I'm going to Shazam your singing.
Are you fucking serious?
I don't have Shazam. No, I'm just joking.
You know, you can just say, hey, Siri, what's that song?
Okay. I'm not going to. I want to win the quiz.
Okay. Ready? Din-din-din-din, 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 din-din-din-din. Wait, do you know it?
No, what the fuck?
Okay, I'm going to get into it then. Ready? Scrub is a god that thinks
That was not.
Also known as a blank.
Bus stop.
Bus stop. Are you fucking serious?
Buster?
Yes. Buster by who?
Oh, that group.
Oh, that group.
Is it? Give me a clue. What does it start with?
That's like giving away a third of it.
Oh,
It's 3
TLC.
letters.
TLC.
Thank you.
And your humming was terrible.
It was fucking on point.
No.
I can't wait to listen
Wow,
to
you are
this.
so
I'm gonna be like,
Tone deaf.
I'm gonna harmonize the two, and it's gonna be a perfect match. All right.
Okay.
All right. Maybe you like this one better. All right. Hang on. I was about to sing the chorus, and I don't think it's a chorus. All right. Baby, I will be loving you until blank.
We're 70.
Yes. By who?
Ed Sheeran.
Can
Also,
you sing what?
70. Wow, that's he's either dying then or he's gonna leave her at
Excuse
70.
me?
70's not like you'll be older than 70. Is he just gonna stop loving her then?
Maybe he will. Maybe it's just a figure of speech. Instead of saying until we're like old and wrinkly,
Yeah, well that
fucking give the guy a break.
anyway, I wouldn't like to be that missus with a timeline.
Okay, well, luckily this is going swimmingly. So, luckily we're up to our last song.
Okay.
You're 3 from 3, going for number 4.
Okay, if I
If you
get this
get-
right, it means you're
Yeah.
getting married in Perth, okay?
Oh wow, wow!
I didn't
one
say
date.
who to. I didn't say
Okay.
who to.
All right, fair. Okay, fair call.
Don't make it some stupid song I don't know.
Okay, you will know this one. Remember those walls I built. Next line. I'm just going to give you
Maybe
the
they're
whole next
crumbling
line.
Well,
Well, you miss it well, but okay, I guess I'll give it to you. Well,
I-
baby, they're crumbling down. Tumbling? I wrote tumbling. I think it's tumbling, babe.
wow, did you actually plan these songs?
Yeah,
Oh,
Ovs. When you took your 500 minutes to get ready,
Oh,
what do you think I was doing?
sorry. Anyway, so wedding in Perth, good.
Wedding in Perth. Look, what if it's in Bali? Just asking for a friend.
That is a different country.
But it's close to you.
That's true. Will we be allowed to go there? Who knows?
Who can knows, babe? Well, thank you for playing in Reets fun song quiz number 1.
So I did actually so well. I'm not very good at remembering like anything to do with songs or movies.
I think it was actually just my magnificent voice that got you over the line.
That second one was absolutely terrible.
Din-din-din-din, din-din-din-din, ah.
Before we leave, I'd like to know what is most recent in your manifest journal. I mean, I think I can guess, but
You can guess correctly. I looked at it today, actually. Wonder why. Okay, too keen. Should we delete that or no? I'm kidding. Yeah, I was manifesting what I would be doing on New Year's Eve of this year and who I would be with and what I would be feeling, what I would be looking at. That was my manifesting journal entry from, I don't know, probably within the last month or 2.
wait, where are you going to be?
In my new house
Mhm.
in Torquay.
Mhm.
Dream gal by my side, obs.
Mhm.
GP in the driveway with my gay pride flag on the garage floor.
Oh,
Advertise
no.
that heavily.
Oh, Lord, I know. Just, I hope not. I hope you can't afford it.
Excuse me? This is my manifesting thing. I can afford whatever I want.
I just hope in your in life it's something happens and it just can't be delivered.
Wow, that was pretty low for even you.
But, I'm talking about the mat in your garage, not the whole situation.
I know. I'm still equally offended.
A pride
oh my God,
mat that takes up your whole garage.
A lot of people on our Instagram feed actually love that contribution. Okay,
I'm sure they did, and it's not anything against the flag itself. I mean, I am gay, but I'm not for it.
Did I tell you I actually bought a blow-up spa?
A blow-up spa?
Yeah, a lazy spa.
What, to do your lesbian mud wrestling in?
Wow, maybe I will actually. That's a great idea. I'll just turn it into jelly. Jelly. Anyways, what was in your manifesting journal?
Well, to be honest, I've done it maybe once since Ollie was born, and I wish
Shame on you.
Sorry, I've just been
shame on you, Lee Angel.
I need to get onto it because there's a bit that now that I've done the birth, I need to reinvent my manifesting and move on to the next part of what I would like to manifest. And I'm not sure.
Is that me having a Perth wedding?
Well, it will be after today for sure. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to talk about what's coming next for me.
Publicly, you mean?
Publicly, yeah. No.
Yeah, got you. Fair enough.
Well, I've already spoke to you about it, so
yeah.
You obviously just don't remember. It's awkward. But yeah, so I want to manifest that into fruition. I already have in terms of like speaking about it a lot with Taylor.
That's good. At least you've got her permission this time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Absolutely. It wouldn't matter.
To throw you under the bus.
Wouldn't matter.
Can I just make it known publicly now that Lee told me verbatim while we were in the car while I was in Perth not to worry about manifesting my dream girl, but to instead worry about manifesting a baby that can travel well in a car without fucking crying.
Yep. If you are pregnant, want to have kids, well, I don't know, and you think, oh, I should manifest anything, just put that on hold and manifest that your child loves driving in a car, because mine doesn't, and you heard her. It's not a good time. I did.
It is not a good time. You're right.
Since you've been gone, she's had at least 4 or 5 trips where we haven't had her screaming.
It's because I settled her. It was just my magicness.
So why did she scream when you were in the car?
Because she was just adjusting to it, babe. She was just like getting the tolerance up, and then she was like, Reets is gone. Okay, I'm going to be an angel now.
I know.
That is the effect I had on her.
Okay.
Anyways, that just got weird.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there, shall we?
We shall.
Thank you all for listening. I've loved that chat. I love our podcast. I really do. I'm very grateful for it because it's my chance to talk crap and not be a mum for a minute.
I love it too. So grateful for everyone who listens. If you don't already, please subscribe or follow to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. We love you, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Are you releasing this on Thursday?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you, bye.
See you, bye. Love you, bye.